Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Melinda's Messy Sink. Today's video is another What's for Dinner video. I have a week's worth of dinner ideas to help you get dinner on the table quick and easy. Let's get into it. Tonight we are going to have Swiss chicken for dinner. I'm going to season them up on both sides with poultry seasoning, salt, and pepper. I'm going to give them a flip and do the exact same thing on the other side. We are going to start working on the sauce for our chicken. In my mixing bowl, I have 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. I just bought the Great Value cream of mushroom condensed soup. This one just happens to be 98% fat-free, probably because I grabbed the wrong one. But that's all you're looking for is just cream of mushroom soup. And then we're gonna add 1/3 cup of chicken broth or white wine, whichever you prefer. A splash of soy sauce. And then we're gonna put the same seasonings that we put on the chicken in our sauce. And we're gonna get this well combined. And we're gonna put this to the side. For side dishes tonight, I am going to be making some green beans. And then I'm also gonna be making white rice. I hardly have any white rice in here. I'm not sure how I forgot to put it on my grocery list, but I also had these boil in a bag jasmine rice. So I'm gonna use these and get some white rice, put some minute rice, put on my grocery list for next week. We are over at my cooktop and we are searing off our chicken breasts. I have my heat on medium-high heat and I'm gonna cook each side about 2 minutes. They will not be done whenever they come out of the skillet. They're gonna finish up in the oven. I also have my oven preheating on 350 degrees. All right, I am going to add my seared off chicken into my 9x13 pan. Next, we're gonna pour our soup mixture on top of the chicken. I'm gonna give it a real good stir again, just real quick. Okay, yeah, still good. So we're just gonna pour it over the top. Next, we are going to put a pat of butter, I just have stick butter, on each piece of chicken. Then I'm gonna take my Swiss cheese slices and I'm gonna add Swiss cheese all across the top of the chicken. I'm gonna get this covered with aluminum foil and we're gonna cook it for 35 minutes with the foil on. We're gonna take the foil off and cook it 15 more minutes uncovered. Our Swiss chicken just came out of the oven. We're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes and then we'll get it plated up. And here is dinner tonight at our house. White rice, Swiss chicken, and green beans. I am making semi-homemade chicken and dumplings. I have 2.5 boxes of this chicken broth that we are gonna start with by bringing it up to a boil. And then in that pot over there, we have diced the potatoes and we're bringing those up to a boil as well so we can get those mashed up. While our chicken broth is coming up to temperature, I have 2 cans of these biscuits. They're the kind that come in the 4-pack at Walmart. And we're gonna use these as our dumplings. I found this recipe on TikTok and I'll be sure to link it below. But what she says to do, get all these out of here, you just kind of flatten it out a little bit and you can either pinch some off or you can use a pizza cutter if that's easier. So that's how she kind of broke it off. And then if I was gonna use a pizza cutter, I would kind of do it like that. So I'm gonna just keep going through. I'm gonna do 1 can of biscuits first, see how much that is in my pan, and then decide if I need the next one. But I'm gonna go through these biscuits and get them all broken up to be our dumplings. All right, our chicken broth is boiling. I went ahead and did both of those rolls of biscuits. I may just not end up using them. So what you want to do is you want to drop them in one at a time. And that's to avoid them sticking together. Okay, I put the majority of the biscuits in. I'm going to give these a good stir, and I'm going to let them cook for about 10 minutes. These were the biscuits that I had left. I'm gonna go ahead and keep these over here so that later, once I get the chicken and everything in, if I feel like it needs more more dumplings, then I can go ahead and put those in as well. Our first 10 minutes is done. I have 3 cups of rotisserie chicken that I pulled off the bone, and I'm just going to add that in to my dumplings and broth. All right, now we should be able to see if we need more dumplings. I did decide that I am going to go ahead and put the rest of my dumplings in. I had my husband look at it and he thought it probably could use a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and use off all the rest. So we'll be back when the second round of 10 minutes is done. Okay, our second round of 10 minutes. Now we've got our chicken in here, our dumplings, our broth. You can see it's starting to cream up a little bit. Next thing we want to do is we want to add some seasoning. I'm going to add a bunch of pepper. Whoops. And then I'm not going to add regular salt because the broth has already got a lot of salt, and so does that rotisserie chicken. But I am going to add a little bit of Lowry's. Give that a good stir. All right, next we are going to put in a half a stick of butter, and we're going to add 12 ounces of evaporated milk. We're going to let that milk come up to temperature, let our butter boil, and we're going to continue to let this simmer for a little bit longer. Okay guys, our chicken and dumplings is finished. Loaded down with dumplings, with chicken. Cannot wait to dive into these. And this is dinner at our house this evening. Hey guys, tonight for dinner we are having sauerkraut and smoked sausage. First thing we're gonna do is we're draining our cabbage and we are gonna make sure that it's thoroughly rinsed. This sauerkraut has been fermenting for a few months, and these cabbages came out of our garden. So we are kind of excited that they're coming out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this a really good wash and let it drain very thoroughly, and then we'll be on to the next step. The next thing that we're gonna do is we are going to cut up our smoked sausage while our sauerkraut is draining. Next, I have my pan on medium to medium-high heat. I'm going to put my smoked sausage in, and I'm gonna start this browning up. I've got just a little bit of oil in my pan as well. Now that our smoked sausage is starting to turn golden brown, we're gonna go ahead and dump in our sauerkraut. We're gonna continue to heat this until it gets warmed throughout. Our pan has been heating up about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. And we're ready to take it out. I just have a glass dish, but you're more than welcome to put whatever kind of dish that you'd like your sauerkraut and smoked sausage to be in. I'm gonna get this plated up and I'll meet you over on my counter. And here's dinner at our house tonight. Sauerkraut and smoked sausage and cornbread. Hey guys, tonight for dinner we are making a little bit of a menu change. We were originally gonna do a sub sandwich night, and I talked to my husband and we are gonna do hot ham and cheese instead. And instead of doing the soup, we're gonna use up the rest of our Arby's curly fries that we had. So we won't be doing subs and soup. We're going to be doing hot ham and cheese and curly fries for dinner. I preheated my oven to 425 degrees. I have a parchment lined cookie sheet, and I'm just gonna get my curly fries spread out. As a reminder, the curly fries, you cook them and you turn them in the middle. So all I'm doing is following the exact instructions on the back of the package, but we're gonna get these spread out and then we'll give them a turn in the middle. To make our hot ham and cheese, I just have some Kroger Swiss slices, some Kroger deli ham, and I have these Pepperidge Farms soft wheat buns. After these are done, my husband is gonna put Miracle Whip on his, and I am gonna dip mine in this honey mustard. It is so good. Hot ham and cheese. Love it, love it, love it. Dipped in these. All right, my husband's gonna have to do 2 sandwiches and he's gonna add turkey to his. I'm just gonna do ham on mine. These are ready to go in the oven once our curly fries get almost done. We're just gonna add these in the oven. All right, our sandwiches just came out of the oven. We're waiting on our curly fries to finish up and we'll get things plated up and it's time to eat. And here's dinner at our house tonight. Mine is a hot ham and cheese, curly fries, and some Ken's honey mustard to dip it in. And that's a wrap on today's What's for Dinner video. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. I'll see you guys in the next one.